Greetings, this is Dinah Monahan.
And Damon Evans bringing you Pro-Life Perspectives. This program is about all things pro-life. It's sponsored by White Mountain Tees and Snowflake. White Mountain Tees provides screen printing, embroidery, banner printing, merchandise with your logo on it, and much more for the White Mountain community. Whether it's 25 t-shirts for your family reunion or 5,000 for your big event, they can do it. Businesses can have a professional look with embroidered logos on jackets, hats, and other apparel.
And Damon, they deliver. Yep, they deliver your order right to your door. From Payson to Winslow, Pinetop to Springerville. They bring it right to you.
Go to whitemountaintees.com. That's whitemountaintees.com, or stop by their shop in Snowflake. So Dinah, we have already covered so much about the history of the pro-life movement. And this week, I understand we're going to be talking about specifically the history of abortion. Such a loaded subject, and people are so polarized, they don't even want to talk about it. But we're going to be taking a deep dive into the subject, so listeners should buckle up. And let's start at the beginning. How long has abortion been around?
Well, abortion has been around for many thousands of years. Egyptian papyrus, Greek plays, Roman coins, the medieval writings, they all reveal that abortion was more common in pre-modern times than people might think. 2,500 years ago, a brilliant Greek physician named Hippocrates was the first pro-lifer when he wrote that abortion was morally wrong. Hippocrates, who is considered the father of modern medicine even now, wrote the Hippocratic Oath, an oath physicians have taken for eons as part of their commitment to healing, not harming the patient.
I can't imagine he ever dreamed that his oath would be continually pledged by physicians throughout the 20th century.
I know. For his time and culture, this oath was revolutionary for its unyielding devotion to the preservation of individual human life, including the unborns. The oath specifically prohibits both euthanasia and abortion. The oath reads, I will not give a lethal drug to anyone if I am asked, nor will I advise such a plan. And similarly, I will not give a woman a pessary or a potion to cause an abortion.
I had no idea he got that specific. Do doctors still today take the Hippocratic? I mean, nurses as well. All medical professionals take the Hippocratic Oath. Isn't that true?
Yes, they take a Hippocratic Oath. But in 1973, the Supreme Court ruled the Hippocratic Oath, that one that he wrote, the original one, was outdated and not to be used.
Oh. Do they take any kind of oath related to that?
Yeah, alas. Hippocrates went woke. Here's one of the updated, revised tenets doctors pledge. Quote, I shall try to establish a friendly relationship with my patients and shall accept each one in non-judgmental manner, appreciating the validity and worth of different value systems and according to each person a full measure of human dignity, end quote.
And no mention of the unborn or abortion or euthanasia in this new oath.
Nope. Imagine, 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates knew that the baby was human and that abortion ended a life. Today, ultrasound has given us a window into the womb, and doctors certainly know that human embryos and fetuses are nothing less than tiny human beings, but they have been betrayed by an agenda.
It brings up something I've heard people say when they're trying to defend it. They say it's not a baby, it's a fetus. How do you answer that?
That's their favorite argument. They usually say it with a gotcha smirk, which is ridiculous. If they knew anything about medical terminology, fetus is simply a Latin term that means little one or offspring. In other words, a tiny human being. To apply their logic, if I hit my finger with a hammer, it would hurt. But if I call my finger by its Latin name, a digit, when it's hit, there should be no pain.
Great point. Oh, this is so very sobering. Our society knows the baby is a human being. Because of ultrasounds, there's really no question. Yet we're aborting one baby every 34 seconds, 2,550 a day, 931,000 a year. It's rightfully been called a Holocaust. I just can't deny the parallels to Nazi Germany here.
You're right. In our last century, our world was shaken when the unthinkable horrors of Nazi camps were exposed. Nobody actually would believe it until they saw the pictures because it was so unthinkable. Our minds could hardly grapple with it. But the Holocaust didn't just happen all of a sudden. The groundwork was laid for decades. If you want to socially engineer a culture, you have to start by engineering the language. Think about it. Right after Roe passed, abortion was universally referred to as choice. Well, you know, everybody loves a choice. Do you want chocolate or vanilla? Having a choice is seen as a right in our country. It's like all American. With this brilliant PR move, the groundwork was set for the rest to fall into place. The living unborn child needed to be dehumanized. And so fetus and product of conception were used in place of baby, which casts the unborn child as less than human, less valuable, or deserving of protection. This is a quote from an interview on NPR. During the Holocaust, Nazis referred to Jews as rats. Hutus involved with the Rwanda genocide called Tutsis cockroaches. Slave owners throughout history considered slaves subhuman animals. This tactic is not unknown. I mean, it's known as an essential part that precedes genocide. In a book, Less Than Human, David Livingston Smith argues that it's important to define and describe dehumanization because it's what opens the door to cruelty and genocide.
Yeah, it's the tactic that is used to both prime and then justify man's inhumanity to man.
Yep.
Blacks were seen as subhuman in our country's past. Jews were called animals and swine. But now we look back on those dark times and we react with horror.
Yeah.
But from everything I'm learning, it's the same exact tactic that's being used on pre-born human beings to justify killing them.
Sure is. There's an abortionist named Warren Hearn, and he's a prominent abortionist, one of the most prominent in the world. And he wrote a textbook called Abortion Practice. In his central premise, he states, unborn children should be viewed not as people, but as a disease.
Wait, he said the phrase unborn children when he said that?
Yep. I know, but wait, there's more. He writes that get this, the relationship between the mother and the baby can be understood best as one of host and parasite.
Oh my God.
That is the language of dehumanization. And generations are being indoctrinated with his writing. It's not isolated. Fox News reports on a professor in UC San Diego Medical School comparing the parallels between fetuses and cancers and a legitimate parasite that invades its mother and manipulates her immunity.
This is just unreal, Dinah. Nowadays, everyone can watch a 4D ultrasound and see the baby move, suck its thumb, yawn, cry, sleep, smile. Those images are so awe-inspiring. Yet this dehumanization of that little human being is going on just like it did in Germany for the Jews. I have to say this puts the whole pro-life call to action in a very different light. But we're out of time. We have to end here. So next week, we're going to pick up with this same theme and discuss more about this atrocity known as abortion.
Yep. So tune in next week for the second half of this. And remember, in the White Mountains, we have the answer for women facing an unwanted pregnancy. New Hope Pregnancy Resource Center at 2500 East Cooley, next to the Social Security office. We're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5. We need your support and your prayers.
Yes, we do. So until next week, be safe,
be blessed,
be kind,
and love life.